we want to talk a little bit about Disney as a corporation. Obviously, its wokeness has become sort of a cornerstone centerpiece for the culture wars discussion that's happening all across our country now. But it's more than just in the court of public opinion. As you know very well, it's in an actual court. And next month, a federal judge will be hearing a dismissal you're seeking against Disney in the litigation. Disney's come out and said, well, we're also a big employer in the state of Florida as well. So tell us how you reconcile this, going after Disney, but also knowing that there are people in Florida, your constituents, who do depend on them for their money, their livelihood.
Well, first of all, Disney came after us. We had legislation to protect kids and parents from having sexualized curriculum in elementary school. It is wrong to teach a kindergartner that they were born in the wrong body or that their gender is a choice. You should not have that in schools. The left didn't like it, the media, and Disney came out after us on that, and we fought back. And you know what? Most Disney employees in Florida sided with us. They did not want the company getting involved in our curriculum. They thought it was wrong. And I actually won massively in Osceola County, which is where most of the Disney employees live. And oh, by the way, I saved more jobs for Disney, and I made them more money than any governor in the country because I kept them open during COVID. They were closed in California for over a year. I got the cast members back into their job when it comes to the innocence of our children. I am not going to lay down if they're coming after our kids. My wife and I have a 6', 5, and a 3-year-old at home. This is personal to us. You should be able to have your kids go to school, watch cartoons, just be kids, without having an agenda shoved down their throat. So I don't care if it's the left, I don't care if it's the media, I don't care if it's the most powerful corporation in the state of Florida. I am standing with our kids.
Do you think they'll toss the lawsuit?
Oh yeah, they're gonna dismiss the lawsuit. The lawsuit's bogus. First of all, we didn't do anything. The legislature didn't do anything to Disney. The legislature changed the local governance structure, which Disney had corrupted over many years, and basically was running this local government for itself. And that's not the right, that wasn't what is right. So it was basically a form of corporate welfare. So the legislature made changes they had every right to do. We're not gonna subsidize corporations. We shouldn't be subsidizing them, period. It's corporate welfare. But certainly you shouldn't be subsidizing corporations that are advancing an agenda that's hostile to children and parents. Not on my watch, we're not doing that.
Very good, very good.
Yep.
Governor, switching pace a little bit, let's talk a little bit about the debates. Donald Trump had said, I believe today or yesterday, he said, RNC, Ronna McDaniel, time to cancel the rest of the GOP debates. You've been very, very popular on these debates. Talk to us about the RNC canceling the debates and Trump's refusal to show up at the debate. Should he show up and why?
Well, we need to have debates. Whether the RNC should be the ones that are controlling that, I don't know that that's necessarily the right way. That's how it's gone. Maybe as we get forward, maybe there'll be more freewheeling debates. I mean, I'd love to do a debate on Newsmax. We get the former president and me. Let's just have at it for an hour. I think we would do it on your.
Hold on, I'm getting a note in my ear right now. You're booked. Okay, now we got to get
we'll
the
do
other
it.
side.
We'll do it on your show. We'll make it happen. So I think it's important. But listen, I find it funny. People say cancel debates and stuff. Last time I checked, the people decide who they want to nominate and who they want to elect, and Iowans are going to get a chance to do that. So we're going to be showing up debates. I mean, we're going to do the debate with Gavin Newsom on November 30th. We're going to do the Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I believe it's December 6th. I've been saying we need a debate in Iowa before the Iowa caucus. We got to do that, and we need a debate. And we need a debate in New Hampshire before that primary. So hopefully they'll be able to do that. I think the debates are better when you have fewer people on stage. That first debate, there was 8 people, and it was harder to get a word in edgewise. As it gets down to 2 or 3, I think it's going to be a lot more meaningful.
Which 2 or 3? You brought it up.
Right.
Well, look, me and hopefully Donald Trump and whoever wants to be the third can come. I mean, that's fine. But I do think he should debate. I think he owes it to the people to debate. He needs to prove that he's going to be able to handle this. And so, but I'll be there. I mean, I'll show up and we're going to debate.
Well, we have a question with Whitney. She's with Moms for Liberty, and she is here to ask you about education, a very important topic.
Hello, sir. My name is Whitney. I'm from Altoona. I'm a school board member, and I am also a Mom for Liberty, a very proud Mom for Liberty. Education is of premier importance to our survival as a nation. How do you plan to assure that schools are giving a solid education and not pushing the woke ideology?
Well, Whitney, thank you for the question. Thanks for what you're doing. It's important. If we allow our schools to be captured by woke ideology, we are going to consign the next generation of Americans to failure, and this country is not going to succeed. So our mantra in Florida has been the purpose of our schools is to educate, not to indoctrinate. We don't want things like critical race theory in our K through 12 schools. We mentioned fighting Disney to get the gender ideology out of the schools. Let's focus on basics of education. And here's the thing. The more you go on, so I think we just have lost focus as a society. One of the things I've done in Florida, and I want to take this nationwide, is, okay, it's fine to say what we're not for. Yeah, we don't want critical race theory. We don't want gender ideology. Of course not. But what do we want? What I want in the schools is to put American civics back in a big way. I want the Constitution taught. I want people to understand our founding principles. I want our students to understand what it means to be an American. When we're graduating students from like high school, they're going to go off in a bunch of different ways in terms of how they're going to pursue their life, but all of them will be called upon to exercise the duties of being an American citizen. And I believe we have responsibility to graduate people who aren't just blank slates, that they have a solid foundation. They know that our rights come from God, not from the government. They understand that the Constitution is limited and enumerated powers, not unlimited federal power over society. So we have to understand these things, and we've really dropped the ball the last generation. When Benjamin Franklin walked out of the Constitutional Convention after the founders created the Constitution, he was asked, did you give us a republic or a monarchy? And his answer was a republic if you can keep it. Because he understood you can have the best Constitution and Declaration of Independence in the world. They don't run on autopilot. Every generation of Americans has got to be a custodian of freedom and liberty. And if our students don't understand that, then we are going to lose this country.